Panic button can do no wrong. I really mean that. Let me remind you of the quartet of games they've ported to Nintendo Switch. Rocket League, Doom, Wolfenstein 2, and Warframe. Different genres, but all games that require near perfect precision and performance, and they hit a home run each and every time. So when Perfect World approached me and asked about doing some sponsored content for Hob Definitive Edition on our channel, and I saw that it was being ported by Panic Button, I said, okay, this is probably going to be really good. And thankfully, Hob Definitive Edition is a really good port on Nintendo Switch. And today I'm going to tell you why. But man, Panic Button, they are wizards of this console. And it has me super excited for Wolfenstein Youngblood and Doom Eternal, because they're on both of those as well. They definitely have that Bethesda linkage. But today let's talk about Hob. This is a game from a few years back. It's from the developers of Torchlight. It's currently $17.99 on the eShop, and it has surprised me. Also, Perfect World is giving away a special edition Hob Nintendo Switch console. You guys know how much I love special editions. I got all the Joy-Con, all the official Nintendo Switcheroos. I wish I could win this one, but alas, it's for you. So if you want to be entered to win, there's a link in the description below. But back to the game itself. It is a top-down adventure title with puzzle-solving elements, and it definitely is a prime example of why you should play games for more than 20 minutes before passing judgment. Because Hob is very cute. It's very charming. It starts off simply, but I knew there had to be more because this is Panic Button. I trust them. I know that the Torchlight folks over there at Runic are fantastic developers. I loved that original game, so I gave it more time. I've played a boatload of hours now, and what starts off as a simple adventure, exploring this pretty world, solving some basic puzzles, quickly evolves into a very intense combat game, quickly evolves into a really exciting, explorative time where you are discovering new worlds that rise and lower. The entire landmass rises and lowers. There's a mechanism to all of this, and it's so fun to witness. Plus, the puzzles really deepen. You're eventually driving around on giant mechanical superdomes, and there's such a great sense of flow as you begin to really get in the rhythm of Hob, because you'll complete one puzzle, and that will unlock this other area. And then you'll platform a bit, maybe have a combat moment, and then get another puzzle done. And then you'll pick something up from that puzzle that, oh, it connects back to this earlier area that now has risen so you can reach it. There's now a new ladder. Everything just has this really great loop where you're going from point A to point B to point C. They're all linked, and you feel good about it. Now, Panic Button didn't do any of that. That's all thanks to Runic. They did a fantastic job with the gameplay and the progression of the title. But what Panic Button did do is improve the frame rate, improve some of the quirks of the world, improve the UI, and improve the load times. Those load times are near non-existent, and I haven't had any issues in maneuvering around the world or any hitching in a game that, while a simple art style, does have a lot going on. And I've been impressed by the fact that no matter where you are on that screen, even given the fixed perspective, the controls just make sense. Everything just works as it's supposed to work. You don't ever run into any situations where it's awkward to control your little Hob guy. And I've been impressed and grateful that the combat is pretty intense. At first blush, it's a little bit tricky because a lot of enemies can just take you out in one hit. So it's got this slight Dark Souls vibe, which is a contrast to the more Zen-like approach of the world. It is a beautiful time to explore. And once you start getting further and further into the game and experiencing some of the more diverse environments, it's super cool and relaxing in a way that evokes memories of Journey, but has much more puzzle solving here, and then that very dastardly combat. Enemies will kill you quick. There aren't really specific boss fights, but many of the enemies feel like bosses because they are big, they are powerful, and they will wipe you. But again, as a testament to the development of this game, the checkpoint system is fantastic. You'll never lose too much progress. You'll never have to run back from too far away. The world is very interconnected in a way that respects the player's time. I feel like this is just such a well-polished experience, full circle. And it's no wonder that Panic Button wanted to help out with the project and wanted to attach their name. Remember, this is a group that has attached their name to some of the best ports on Switch. And Hob Definitive Edition is quickly climbing my eShop rankings. There are so many roguelikes, this isn't one of those. There are so many co-op games, this isn't one of those. There are so many side-scrolling pixel art games, this again isn't one of those. So it starts off as seemingly a simple riff on an old school Legend of Zelda. Man, it has won me over so entirely, and I think a lot of it is due to really that mechanical, that gear, cog-like nature of this world, that it can shift, because you'll go down beneath the surface and solve a few puzzles, grab an upgrade, and then as you come back up, the last switch you hit will raise a whole landmass, and all of a sudden you have this forest that was beneath the ground is now up at the surface, and you can explore it. And did I mention that you're acquiring new powers for your special hand? Because Hob loses his arm within the first 5 minutes of the game. He gets his hand chopped off at the very beginning. Sekiro is not the only game that has a prosthetic limb. This guy just straight up gets a giant magic rock glove, and it is able to acquire all sorts of attack moves. You're ground pounding, you're using special punches, but it also has a lot of traversal capabilities. You'll be teleporting on special teleport pads, you'll be grappling. There's also like a really nice fast travel system to help you move through the world even quicker, and because the loads are so short, it just works out blissfully. I am now at a point in Hob where I have an entire arsenal of moves that I bought by exploring, because remember how I said everything flows. So as you explore off the beaten path, you'll find currency that can then be used to upgrade your arm and your moveset, that then can be used to be more successful in combat, to then get further in the game, to then solve another puzzle, to then grab another giant Superdome that you get to drive around and smush everything in sight that just took so many hits to kill. And you can shield and you can teleport behind. It becomes very fully featured and so much fun. It really surprised me. And thankfully at the perfect time, because lately I have been in such a gaming funk, such a gaming malaise. Everything just feels homogenized, so samey, so similar. And lately there's been a couple games that have really just helped revive my love and passion for video games. And Hob is one of those because of all the aforementioned reasons. Yes, it's a port of a past title, but Panic Button has done a wonderful job of tidying this one up. And hopefully the Panic Button name alone will bring awareness to this game, because I think it deserves it. Me and Gabe were just talking recently about how many excellent experiences there are on eShop, and how it's so impressive that this library of past, present, future games can be taken on the go via Switch. And Hob is quickly rising in the ranks for me. It has charmed the heck out of me. It is tricky and cerebral enough to maintain engagement throughout. And I just really like the way it plays and that loop that I will keep going back to. Because if you're a game and you're going to be in that $10 to $20 price range, and you're going to compete against all these other indie slash small slash medium experiences on eShop, you better have a great loop. You better make it rewarding for the player. And once this world opens up, and once it starts moving up and down quite literally, I think you're going to be hooked. So that's Hob. If you want to check out more, there's a link in the description below. As I mentioned, giving away a custom Hob Switch console. If you want to be entered to win that, also a link in the description. And while the last couple of months have not had a whole lot of major Switch titles, man, by the end of this month, there is so much quality to play on the eShop. It may not make up for it entirely, but it's definitely a very good thing for Switch owners. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your take on Hob, if it's something you may want to pick up, if you're considering, if you've already played the game. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, though, thanks again. I love you. SwitchForce out.